Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV, of course, from Al-Azhar Mosque and celebrating the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the role of Al-Azhar in specific and Islam in general, as we are discussing the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, combating terrorism, one of the main threats and challenges facing the world and not just Egypt. And we'll be talking more about this in this episode and in this segment of Nile Cruise. I'm honored to be having with me at Al-Azhar Mosque Huda Al-Ibiawi from Al-Azhar Observatory for Combating Extremism and Terrorism, and Mariam Abdel Gawad from the same institution. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure
to be with you today.
It's a pleasure to have you with us, of course, today. Mariam, we start with you. Of course, the Azhar Observatory for Combating Extremism launches many awareness campaigns to correct some misconceptions about the Prophet's Sunnah. Can you tell us more about these campaigns and when and how, and if people want to know more, where are they supposed to go exactly to learn more?
Yeah, first to start, Al-Azhar Observatory for Combating Extremism is mainly concerned about combating the terrorist ideas and ideologies spread everywhere. And one of our main means of combating extremism is by making awareness campaigns. And we have a lot of campaigns that have been made in the Azhar Observatory. One of the most important and one of the most that made the most that were spread very much is the alaj, and we correct, and the other one is about the concept of jihad. Those two were concerned mainly about refuting those false ideologies and misconceptions spread by the terrorist groups, and how they can manipulate the teens, and how they can bring them into their groups, and how they can plant those misconceptions in their heads to lead them to make those violence acts and many of the bloodsheds we see every day. So those two campaigns were the main that we made, the alaj, and the other one is the concept of jihad. And nowadays we at the English department are already preparing a campaign for the birth of the Prophet, peace be upon him, about the Prophet's mercy and how he used to treat his enemies and his companions and many things like this. All of these can be found on our website and our Facebook page, Al-Azhar Observatory for Combating Extremism, and through the Al-Azhar web electronic page, you can find the Azhar Observatory in all the languages, and you can find all the campaigns and all the articles that are talking about these concepts and these ideas.
Yes, Huda, if we can speak, as we are celebrating the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the misconceptions that are dealt with through the campaign that is being prepared by the observatory.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I will speak about campaigns in Al-Azhar Observatory. Okay. Can I?
Yeah, yes, with the campaign, please.
The campaigns. It's about jihad. It's about the rights of women. A lot of campaigns speak about the right of women and the Muslims, the rights of Muslims and the non-Muslims, and the true meaning of jihad. Okay, it means that you Muslims don't fight anyone. The right. A lot of campaigns speak about women. Okay.
Okay, the concept of jihad is mainly about the right to defense, that Muslims always defend themselves. They do not fight for the sake of fighting or for the sake of taking properties of others. We just defend ourselves against any attacks or things like that. Or jihad for the sake of not committing things, to abstain from committing sins and from going for these unrighteous things that Allah has forbidden us to do.
Allah described Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, saying, "And indeed you are of a great moral character." How was this clear in his treatment, of course, of his companions?
Of his companions. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was known to be a very merciful person. He used to be very friendly with them, though he was the Prophet, but he he used to talk to them like very humbly, and to sit with them some people say that when they entered their place of sitting, they didn't know that he was the Prophet, because he was just sitting side with them. He didn't have the arrogance or anything like this. He was just treating them like his real companions, not like I'm a prophet and you are below. No. He was just a very humble person, peace be upon him, and he used to give them amiable names, like how he called Abu Bakr al-Siddiq al-Siddiq, and how he called al-Faruq, and many of his friends also took names like this.
Huda, if we can ask about the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and how he treated women in his life. How was that?
In the name of Allah, all praising for Allah, the creator of all creatures, and peace be upon Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and followers. The Prophet was merciful to all humankind, for women and the children, and for men, for all people. He was treating people equally, especially children and women. He was treating his women, his wives, equally. He was merciful for all people. He is treating people well. He even was even were their enemies, with their enemies. What enemies? I can say examples.
Yes.
Okay. When some Jewish man treated him badly, he was throwing rubbish in front of his door. One day he didn't find the rubbish. He went to ask about him. He was very, very merciful. Mm-hmm. He was very, very kind. Yes. He was very, very friendly.
Mm. Yes. And Prophet Muhammad, Mariam, was merciful, as Huda said, to women. How did he see this through scenes of his life?
I guess us women know about this incident when he had like a married quarrel with Aisha, peace be upon her, and he asked her, if you want someone to solve this problem between us, would you like to someone? She asked for her father. And when her father came and he asked her, and he heard the story that happened between them, he was about to hit her. So Aisha just happened to, she went behind his back and took shelter behind his back, though they were quarreling. Yeah, this showed how much she trusted him and how much she knew that he was very merciful towards her, that he would protect her against even her father or anyone who could harm her.
Yeah. Mariam, the Prophet always sought to make things easy for people. Yeah. Why do we fail to do this nowadays?
The Prophet, peace be upon him, was known that whenever two things were shown to him, or he needed to judge them, he took the easiest way for people. Nowadays, though some scholars do this, but I think that Al-Azhar now is taking the same way, and we have Al-Azhar Center for Fatwa, for electronic fatwa, and we have many scholars in this center who listen to every detail of every case to solve these cases with the easiest way, to make people trust in religion again, to have their faith in the religious institutions, and to gain their faith in the institutions that are run by Al-Azhar, and not go to other places or other electronic pages that have some extreme or some unwanted or unknown fatwas that make them go to the extremist ways, and maybe for some others they leave religion and abandon it. Yeah.
Yes, on the other hand, we can see abuse from all over the world on social media and social network. If Prophet Muhammad was living nowadays, peace be upon him, how would he deal with such abuse that is being received to all humanity on social media?
I guess he wouldn't agree upon this at all. He would make his people review their views again, and to be aware of what they are saying, that you can say anything at any way, and you should be very careful with what you're saying, because a wrong words can destroy nations. So you have to be careful and have to be to be careful what you say. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, as we celebrate Prophet Muhammad's birth, may peace be upon him, Mariam, what do you think Muslims and Egyptian Muslims and Muslims all around the world should be doing on this very special day?
I guess it's very important to remember how the Prophet treated people, and to learn from his manners and his way of living, to love our families, to love our neighbors, our colleagues, and everyone, and to have mercy while dealing with others, and to just take from what he has done, because if we just walked through his life path, we will be very successful and we will be a very good nation. Yeah.
Yes, Mariam Abdel Gawad from Al-Azhar Observatory for Combating Extremism, and Huda Al-Ibiawi from the same institution. Thank you very much for being with us today on Nile Cruise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I congratulate you with this advent of the birth of our Prophet Muhammad, the light of darkness. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dear viewers, stay with us, for we're coming back again, for we still have more in our episode today, celebrating the birth of Prophet Muhammad. May peace be upon him.